We are at Virunga National Park headquarters, and here is the place where we just have our construction is brand new facilities, and this has been a long time. We've been dreaming this, and now we are seeing it a real reality. Now we are living it now. That is great. We are so happy for that. So what is making us very happy is that when we have been doing this, building this, we had many rangers really feeling very happy, saying that this is what they were expecting for people to be doing, that Gorilla Doctors has done something good, which is showing their commitment to their mission to save gorillas' life. So that's very good. Hello, Jen, Dr. Jen, Dr. Kristen, are you there?
Yes, we're here.
Hey, Eddie. Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gorilla Doctors Live. We are so happy to be spending the next hour with you. My name is Kirsten Gilardi. I am the Executive Director of Gorilla Doctors, and I am joining you from our regional headquarters here in Rwanda. And I have all my fingers and my toes crossed that the internet stays strong here and in DR Congo. But before we start our first look tour, a quick reminder. We'll spend the last 15 or 20 minutes or so in a Q&A session with you all. So please feel free to submit your questions in the Q&A feature in Zoom at the bottom of your screen anytime during the hour. Tell us your name and where in the world you are joining us from. We'll answer as many questions as we can. But first, Jan, the moment has finally arrived.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I'm Dr. Jan Raymer. I'm the Senior Vice President of Animal Care and Conservation for the Columbus Zoo and the Wilds, and I'm the current chair of our Gorilla Doctors Board of Directors. And I am so happy to be here today discussing our new Gorilla Doctors offices for our DR Congo team. Kirsten, we have been talking about shifting our Congo offices from a rented space in Goma to the Virunga National Park headquarters for ages. How long has that been?
It has been years, and of course, it was the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium that finally made it possible. And for that, I really cannot thank you, Jan, enough, and the Columbus Zoo enough. You have truly, as Eddie said, you have made a dream come true for us. Jan, you've been connected to Gorilla Doctors for a really long time. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and why this facility has been such a vision of yours too for so long?
Oh, sure. You know that a piece of my heart is always going to live with Gorilla Doctors. I was the regional manager in the region from 2009 to 11, and then again from 2013 to 15. And I couldn't stay away from Gorilla Doctors when I got back to the States. I served on the Gorilla Doctors Advisory Council for several years before joining the board of directors, and I'm so honored to now serve as the chair. The Columbus Zoo has been supporting gorilla doctors for over 30 years, providing support for veterinary salaries. And in fact, the very first Rwandan veterinarian was hired with the support of the Columbus Zoo. And I am so pleased that the Columbus Zoo is able to support our Congo team in this important way. This facility has been such a long time coming. And I'll also mention that there couldn't be a better team or mission for the conservation of eastern gorillas.
Thanks, Jan. I think your story is such a great example of the loyalty and the long-term commitment of our supporters to Gorilla Doctors' mission, which has been such a key to our success. We have so many donors, including zoo partners, who have been with us for decades. And that's enabled us not only our growth, but now also our ability to respond to gorilla health emergencies faster than ever. For quick context, our new facility in DR Congo is essentially in the Mikeno sector of the park. And because I happen to have it on a map here behind me, I'm going to show you where we are going to be today. And I need to adjust my laptop a little bit so you can see all of it. So the green, hope you can all hear me, but the green in the map is Virunga National Park. Here we go. Way up at the top, there's a little spot there, purple spot, that's the Mount Shabarimu sector where Dr. Cedric provides veterinary care and health observations for a very unique population of growers gorillas. And then down here is the Mikeno sector of the park. And this is where a third of the world's mountain gorillas live. And this is where our facility has been built. Now, if you can see my finger, maybe you can't, but right here at the edge of Lake Kivu is the city of Goma. And that's where our DR Congo team has been based for many, many years. And it takes 90 minutes to drive from Goma up to the Mikeno sector of the park. And as that's in the event of an infant gorilla an emergency, an infant gorilla is caught in a snare, those 90 minutes are precious minutes lost in being able to respond as rapidly as possible. And we know that the faster response times decrease the risk of severe injury from snares.
Gosh, Kirsten, I saw this happen so many times for snares and for illness. And with our new offices and lab at park headquarters, the team's going to be able to respond so much sooner, which is the best case scenario for the ill or injured gorilla. From another perspective, a permanent facility at park headquarters, at the headquarters of Virunga National Park, also shows our dedication to our government partners. It says, we are here, we are your partners, and we will care for gorillas as long as they need us.
I could not agree more, Jan. So, hey, let's go see the place. Eddie, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Thank you so much, Jen and Dr. Kristen. So let's just see how we can give you a tour to our new building. So where we are here, it's the entrance to our main building. And this one will be having offices, laboratory. We will have also offices for staff and also pharmacy. So we have also many other places you are going to see very soon. So are you there ready to go with me for the tour? Now, you come on. Hello, everyone.
Hello, greetings, welcome. We are all waiting to welcome you in our new reception area. This is where we'll greet guests when they come to visit.
As you can see, construction is so new. We haven't not furnishings. We'll try to build a new offices and access will be for everybody.
Today, we will be focused on the purpose for each room.
Yeah, and this is how it will enable us to take care of gorillas, our patients, better and faster than ever before.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I think before we continue, I think we can just switch camera just for some special things. And I have someone.
Hello.
Jackson.
Yeah, hello.
Can you just introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jackson Mwenge. I'm the senior administrator of Gorilla Doctors here in DRC. Usually I work behind the scenes, managing some operation, so our veterinary team can be focused on our gorilla patients and have all time to take care of them.
So, how long have you been working with gorilla doctors?
I have been working with gorilla doctors since 2018, and I also work with Grace, our Graoris sanctuary at Kasuo. So my hello to all of friends from Kasuo there. Hello. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jackson, and that's great. So let's continue with our tour.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So
this is a great time while we start our tour to acknowledge the amazing work of the Virunga National Park infrastructure team, especially Laura Parker, Jerome Lambert, Victoria Vanderwall, and of course, Emmanuel de Morode. They have been the engines behind this project from the earliest stages of welcoming the idea of guerrilla doctors building a facility at park headquarters to drafting the architecture plans, to seeing us through construction. And now here we are, the final coats of paint are still drying. Thank you, Virunga National Park team, for your hard work for us and for Guerrilla Doctors.
Okay, hi Frederick.
Hi, thank you.
So can you introduce yourself and tell us about what and where you are now?
Okay, thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm Dr. Cedric, the newest field veterinarian on Gorilla Doctors DRC. I'm stationed at MT Chabirimu in the north part of Virunga National Park. There, I monitor 2 groups of endangered critical gorillas, and I also collect fecal samples from all those gorillas. Then, eventually, those samples will come in this room. You know, this is our future lab. In this room, we're going to process all samples, maybe to look for parasites, virus, and maybe bacteria.
Thank you so much. So I'd like just to mention that this is like our regional micron feed regional One Health laboratory, which is in Musanze. There is really very good to have those kind of laboratory in place, because when we have a case, it is easy for us to collect samples, to do the diagnostic, and then we can have a quick answer for the problem we're having in the field. If we know the problem which is causing illness, we are ready to go and respond, even refine our treatment. So this is really good. And after we process even samples, we can take them to our biobank, and that can help to know what has been happening in the health or during the hair life of these guys in the future. And many people can learn from that. And also that we can store those samples in our historic data set we have here for many researchers in the world. So that's really something we are very excited about.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Eddie. It's such a thrill for me, and enjoy the rest of the tour.
Yeah, that is great. Thank you so much. So,
Okay.
Jackson, let's move and see the other. Yeah. Hello, Lina. This is Lina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Lina Ntorobika, one of our field veterinary, usually based at Virunga National Park. And this room here, it will be our pharmacies, where we keep our medicine, our supplies. Then, as you know, our hospital is a forest. Then we will be preparing our go back to the field, medicine for the intervention. And then we keep all the kits here. Then we go and refeed and restock them after an intervention.
So that is really great. As you can see behind, the room is still empty.
Yeah.
But this is really useful. And a quick reminder is that when we are having this place here, is that it will be allowing us to park very fast and go to the forest, because we don't treat the animal outside the park, and our patients are wild, and so we have to do our work in forest, and we never remove any patient gorilla in the wild to come to do the work here. So this, and we do have also many other places, like, let's show you more places. So this one is an animal holding. As I was just explaining that our patients are wild, and we don't take anymore from forest to come to treat them here. So this will not be for gorillas, as we are saying, but it will be for other animals we can have here. Even in the park here, we can support many other work. We have a dogs unit. We also have sometimes some monkeys we can confiscate. We can help before to do their like health check. We can check on them, rehabilitate them, and somehow we do the triage from here. So waiting to take them to their final destination where they can continue to make their life very well. So we can try to rehabilitate the animal temporarily. So we have been having some cases where any monkey can be confiscated, like here at the headquarters. So taking it to us in Goma, it is a long way and a stressful time. So when we will be based here, having these facilities here, it will make easier our life and life of the animal, because we always work for the well-being and welfare of these animals. And we need to give them a better life. That's how we are really coming close to our animals and to be also safe. As I saw Christian was saying, like, this is a long way to come from Goma. There are many things we have to organize before to reach this site. So this one will be helpful for us, and we are really so excited to see this. So let's move to another place to show more place.
Thank you, Dr.
Hello, Fabrice.
Hello again.
This is Fabrice, so you can introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Fabrice, another one of our field veterinarian. I've been based in Goma since I started with Gorilla Doctors in 2020. I travel to anywhere where we work in DRC. When I'm not in the field, I'm in the office, and this room is the one of our new offices. Of course, I prefer to be out in the field.
But now I can see we are standing. There is nothing where to sit. At this time, you were supposed to do some reports now.
It's
from
true,
the
it's
field,
true. Yeah.
writing report for the cases and for health monitoring, routine health checks. So we're supposed to sit here
Yeah.
and do something.
Yeah.
But recently you went out
Yeah.
for some other patient, not gorillas. Can you tell us about?
Yes. Recently, I joined the Virunga lion collaring team and provided some veterinary support to the lions while they received the new tracking collars. You know, these collars are very important tools in conservation management of the lions in and around the park.
Okay, thank you, Fabrice. But also, as we always work closely with our partners, we also do some work on elephants. Some emergency can come, and some elephants can get injured by traps, which has been set by poachers. When they fail in their mission, we can be called to come to help these elephants remove snares. And sometimes they got some bad injury, so we can help with those animals. So when we are here at Rumangabo, it will be much easier for us because the airstrip is just near here, and the park can very fast mobilize staff, logistic like planes to take us to the site to do intervention on defense. So that has been really something we've been proud of, and we think in the future we will be much more rapid, having good response and rapid response to our patients to make them safe and healthier. So that is really good. Thank you, Fabrice.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we are going to see one more person, which is not the least, is Japos. Hello, Japo. This
Hello.
is Japo Lukusa. Can you
Yeah.
introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. I'm Dr. John Paul Lukusa, our employee program manager. My work is focused on One Health approach. Under that program, I try to reduce the risk of disease transmission between human and gorillas.
That's really good. So, as you know, when you're working now close to human,
Yeah.
to check on their health,
Yeah.
and then we understand very well that helping human who are working closely with gorillas, that means we are also helping to keep these animals, gorillas, very healthy.
Yeah.
So that is really very important. And One Health, as I know, is one of core part of our mission as gorilla doctors. So thank you for that. So can you explain us some more thing what you do?
Yeah.
Or why are you focusing on human? Or what are the parts you are focusing on?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Eddie. As an employer program manager, I track disease to outbreak disease that we can find in the human population. And also I organize workshop and awareness about hygiene and some disease in communities. And also I help to organize the full screening to all staff trackers in the parks. And I'm so excited and wonderful to be here, to work here in close to the park, because Gorilla Doctors have now the facilities close to the park that can help me to be in touch with all staff, park member and their communities that can help me to react with them regarding of disease transmission between human and gorillas.
Yeah, that's really very important. And just trying to explain that gorillas and human, we are very close to each other genetically.
Yeah.
And gorillas are very susceptible to human diseases. And they are very naive because they have never been exposed to many of these pathogens. So when it comes to gorillas, it can cause really bad problems.
Yeah.
So doing this program, it really strengthens our strategy to prevent disease from going from human to animals.
Yeah.
And also Japan, he also do the human gorilla.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dr. Eddie, you know, when you talk about some disease transmission, I can give you example of Giardia. That's why under this program, we try to do deworming program 4 times on the Mars, because we found some parasites, and those parasites can be shared between those population, human and gorillas.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that is just a few of the examples of the disease which can come from human to animals. Like we know we have been having COVID, we have Ebola, and many other diseases. So thank you for that and for this One Health approach and employee program you are running.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys. Let's go to the QI and meet our colleagues in the conference room.
This is so exciting, audience. This has been my first time seeing the entirety of this facility too. Jan, what did you think?
Oh my gosh. It finally feels real. I love that our guests today are seeing the other side of our work. The wonderful stories of our field work are relatively easy to tell and fun to tell, but there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that folks don't always get to hear about. Gosh, Columbus Zoo is thrilled that this new facility is truly going to advance gorilla doctors' response capabilities so we can keep gorillas even healthier. Thank you for this amazing front row seat today.
Thanks so much, Jan, for being here today. And you're totally right. We may not have seen a lot of gorillas on this GD Live webinar today, but you all got a front row seat to see what makes that exciting work possible. And it's these kinds of facilities and supplies, and of course our people and their work that makes it all happen. I can also say having Virunga National Park as our new home base for our DRC team takes a huge weight off my mind. The past few years have been precarious, often very dangerous for our team. And every time they were on that road from Goma up to the park, I was just, even with armed escorts, I was just really full of anxiety for their safety. And I know, we all know safety is never guaranteed working in this region, but this new facility is such a huge step in the right direction for our team. So I could not be more excited about our new home at Virunga National Park headquarters. Okay, we've got a good amount of time for questions. Let's start answering some questions from the audience. I need to put on my glasses so that I can read. Okay, here is a question for, let's see, team, are you with us? Can we get you back on? There you are, great. Okay, Fabrice, you are up first. A question for you. How do gorillas react to being treated by the doctors, by the veterinarians? Do they know that you're doing something good for them? And how does the rest of the gorilla group react when you are there treating one of their family members?
Hello again. Thanks for the question. While we are on the field, when we want to treat the gorilla, firstly, we have to identify our target. And when we prepare the intervention, we have to come with a big team of rangers and trackers. And where we are in the field, where the family is located, we try to look first our target. And when we found our target, we first prepare our materials, our drug, and our darts, and then the drug is ready. We treat them, and when other gorillas is around, we can come slowly and create a barrier between us and other group, and between our target with our group. Because when they saw that and the one of they are endangered, because when we come and when we want to that the one of gorillas, Ad will try to save the one of them. And that is the I can say our challenge in the field, because they can try to react. When we are a big team, the rangers will try to create a barrier between us and the gorillas, and to protect us against that challenge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fabrice. Thank you for giving us a picture of what it's like to be in the forest when you're in the forest hospital and you're treating your gorilla patient. Eddie, I'm going to put you on the spot, but I often tell a story that's not even mine to tell, it's yours to tell. And Jan, you may have been part of this when it happened, but Eddie, you tell an amazing story of a very difficult snare removal intervention in Congo, where it took quite a bit of time, days, to be able to access your gorilla patient, because she was her family was really protecting her. Do you know what story I'm telling you? I'm asking you to tell, the one about the black bags. How can you tell that just briefly, because I think it's such a great illustration of that dance we play when we're in the forest doing these interventions. We're dealing with wild animals, and they're very socially complex. And tell us give us a little bit of a picture of that.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. This is a group that was Lugendo group. In this group, we had 4 silverbacks, but 1 dominant male, which we call Bukima. And we had a juvenile with a snare. So when we darted the juvenile, then the other males came trying to chase us, just like to retrieve their the baby, the juvenile. But the dominant male, when he realized that these guys are doing something which is great, he came and he stepped in the middle between us and the other silverbacks, and he kept moving in between and chasing the other ones. So we were able to remove the snare safely, and even the other one just sitting there, look at how we were just removing the snare. But we didn't realize that it was real. It was like we are expecting someone to come and to chase us out, but we're lucky. We did the snare removal safely. We reversed the drug, and the juvenile joined the team without any problem. So that was really something new. We never seen this gorilla behaving as if they knew that these guys, they are coming to save our lives. One of us had a snare. They are coming to save this one because they always carry
I'm
that.
not gonna lie, that story still gives me goosebumps when I hear it. It's such an amazing story. Thank you, Eddie, for sharing that. Okay, back to the questions. Jan, this one is for you, and it is from Calvin and Lisa Wolf. Hi, Dr. Jan. They remember when you first arrived among the gorillas. What was it like then in terms of facilities and operations? And, contrast that with where Gorilla Doctors is now.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll concentrate on the Congo team since we're celebrating this new this new building and facility for Congo. But in 2009, when I first arrived, the Congo team, if I remember right, Eddie and JP, we were in a small building in kind of downtown Goma. And then a few years later, we moved and collaborated with a national lab, and which was very nice. We had rental space at a national lab, but as we've talked about, those spaces were not our own. We had rooms, but they were not our own. And as Eddie and Kirsten have pointed out, they were at least a 90-minute drive from Rumangabo, which is where we would need to take off if we had something that we needed to take care of in the park. And so the new facility, this is my first time to see it. It's amazing. I can't wait to see it in person. They are going to have everything they need right there at park headquarters. And so if there is an emergency, they can grab their go bags and head to whatever sector of the forest they need to go to, or as Eddie pointed out, jump on an airplane and get to the north where the elephants are. And it just warms my heart. You talked about goosebumps, Kirsten. This gives me goosebumps because it's just been a dream of this team for so long and so needed, and it's going to make their work so much more efficient.
Thank you, Jan. Couldn't agree with you more, of course. Okay, next question. This one is for you, Cedric. Pam from Northern California, the other side of the planet, she asks, what is the most common type of parasites that we see in the gorillas?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question. Yeah, you have to know that we share many parasites with human. And in gorillas, we usually find, for example, Strongyloida, Oxyria, Trichuria, Ankylostoma, hookworm. Yeah, I mean, we share the same part, or the kind of the same parasite with human. Yeah.
Yeah, and as JP mentioned when we were on our tour, part of what we do with our employee health program is try to reduce the parasite burden in the families of the people who work in the park, because by reducing the parasite burden in the family members, you reduce the reinfection rates in the individual who is also going into the park every day. So great question. Thank you for that one. Okay, Eddie, this one's for you from Sonia. First of all, congratulations to the team and thank you to the sponsors, especially the Columbus Zoo. Eddie, how will the diagnostics capacity differ between our laboratory facility there in Congo at our new facility and our regional headquarters the Gorilla Doctors, Michael Cranfield, One Health Regional Laboratory we have here in Rwanda, which, regional is in the name. It is meant to serve the region. So tell us how the laboratories will differ.
Oh, thank you so much. So, at the moment, I can tell you we are just at the stage of trying to make inventory of what we have, and we are still kind of behind compared to the regional lab. We have a microfield lab because there we can do molecular testing. At the moment, we are not able to do that one. We can do blood work. We can do biochemistry, hematology, we can do some bacteria examinations. But when we come to the molecular testing, we take the samples to our regional lab, which is already well equipped and with a kind of updated equipment, and which are really very good and good in quality to provide us good results, and with high sequencing machines. So that is one of the difference. We are having the basic ones, but when we move to our regional lab, we have the molecular testing capacities. That's the big difference.
Thank you, Eddie. And yeah, thanks for, I think we've seen some amazing growth in the last year, especially with our lab here, and now having the ability to get a sample from the field and in the same day run the tests to help us better understand what is causing the illness in our gorilla patients has really been a big game changer for us as an organization. And so that's something that also gives me goosebumps, honestly. Okay, for Lena, I have a question for you from Claudia in Germany. So we've got people coming from all over the world to join us tonight. Claudia asks, how long will it probably take now to reach the gorilla groups in an emergency? We're in Rumangabo now, and there's an emergency in Virunga National, gorilla emergency in Virunga National Park. How long will it take to get to our gorilla patient?
Thank you so much for the question. We appreciate. The things is now very two things different. For the first time, we should come from Goma. You imagine we started driving from Goma to come to Mikono sector, then from there to go to the group. But since we are now with our facility in Rumangabo, it's now depend. The group can be at the 1 hour working, 2 hours, but it will not take you. Can you imagine the distance from Goma have to here, then to go to the forest, but it will be short distance, like instead for doing 3 hours or 4 hours, we may do one hour half or 1 hour. It's very amazing. Now it's very exciting. It will be far. We will not be far. We will be close to our patients.
Thank you, Lena. And yeah, I mean, think about it, audience. Let's say that our team gets a report from the park of an infant in a snare, and that report comes in at 1 p.m. on a Monday. Well, if we're lucky, we can get mobilized to drive to the park that afternoon, but it's not just us jumping in our car and driving to the park. We have to go with the caravan for our security. And so sometimes that delays things. So again, we say it's a 90-minute drive, but it's a 90-minute drive that requires a lot of planning and logistics around it, and that adds to the delay. So, Lena, you're absolutely right. Now that we're going to be up there, we can just jump into a car, get to where we need to go, and get into the forest. So, a game changer. Okay, we have our next question is for Fabrice from Mrs. Cachet or Cachat and her 3rd and 4th grade class. She has a class of students that are watching our webinar from Grove City, Ohio, a whole classroom of 3rd and 4th graders. So we're talking 8 and 9-year-olds. The teacher, Mrs. Cachat, asks her, she says her students would like to know, how nervous are the gorilla patients when you try to help them? How nervous are our gorilla patients when we are there in the forest to treat them?
Yeah, thanks for the question. When we are in the forest, the first time the gorillas want to change us, to changing us, and when we are there, we have a protocol. What the behavior we can take with the team. When they try to react to us, we have to be together with trackers and rangers and to stay calm, to wait when they can begin to do other activities. When they came stable and became to do other activities, we have to follow them slowly. And if we have our target, we can again try to follow our protocol. And as I explained for the first question, we can do our protocol, look at our targets slowly, create a barrier between us and other gorillas, and stay with only our targets. That is how we manage when we are in the field.
Thank you, Fabrice. And I think this is a good opportunity to remind our audience that certainly our gorilla patients are wild. They live in the wild in their forest, but they are what we call habituated, human habituated, which means that humans who work in the park have very carefully, over a long period of time, helped the gorillas to be comfortable with the presence of people in close proximity. And that's been super important for the conservation of the mountain gorilla and for eastern gorillas. The fact that the gorillas, the habituated gorillas who are wild, are comfortable with people being close is what allows us to do our work. We can get close enough as veterinarians to be able to use our eyes and our cameras to look at our gorilla patients and determine what clinical signs they might have that indicate that there's an illness or an injury that we need to treat. So the fact that we can get close and the gorillas don't mind, they don't get nervous by people being close when they've been very carefully habituated to having people near them. Okay, next question. Oh, this one's for me, from Jennifer in Oklahoma. In the US, we have a lot of problems with parasites developing resistance to our anti-parasitic drugs. Is that something you have seen at all in the wild gorillas? Great question, Jennifer. Two things. One is we only use the deworming medication in the gorillas when we have clinical illness. So we are not using deworming medication preventatively in all the gorillas in all of the parks where we live. And all 800 patients are not getting deworming medication. So that's helpful for the particular problem or risk or concern about parasite communities building up resistance. We have not seen it in the gorillas, but it is absolutely a question that we are very, very intrigued about and concerned about and are pursuing, especially now that we have the Gorilla Doctors Michael Cranfield Regional One Health Laboratory, where we can start engaging into antimicrobial resistance research as it relates to the gorillas. Thanks for that great question. Next one is for Jean-Paul, for JP, from Brian. Wonderful introduction of the staff and the new facility. A question about the new laboratory. Will the laboratory have DNA capabilities to further the work in the area of One Health?
Thank you very much for that question. In this area, we have INRB laboratory in Goma is a good one who can do many things. And as you know, in this region, we get more outbreak of Ebola. It was on the time when we get the 10 epidemic of outbreak of Ebola in Goma. The government decided to implement the laboratory class 4. That is amazing in this region. And they are doing biology, molecular biology and virology. Everything is amazing about those outbreaks we get in the region. Remember, last time we get also COVID, and it was the bad time, and until now we have mpox, and that's why I can say we have a good laboratory doing DNA research and virus research. I can say that. Thank you.
Thank you, JP, and thanks for commenting on important partners in the region. That is true for us in all the countries where we work. We have great capacity both in our facilities, but we also have great partnerships with other diagnostic laboratories. And so when and if needed, we can reach out to those partners. And then the examples you just provided, JP, were, I mean, of course, so incredibly important that there was diagnostic capacity in the region for detecting Ebola virus in human patients. And we knew that existed, and we knew we had that resource during the Ebola outbreak that we could access if we had to. Fortunately, we did not. We have not had Ebola virus get into the mountain gorillas, and then I always look for a piece of wood that I can knock on. Okay, next question for Eddie. This one is from Janet M. She says, when I visited Uganda to see gorillas, my guide pointed to the border of the Congo and would not go closer because of the threat. While you just addressed the benefit of being in a more protected area, has the threat remained the same or has it improved? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the security situation and how that impacts your daily work.
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. And I start saying that this region has been unstable for many years. So knowing that, we need kind of to be resilient to work in this region, and to know that even if someone is coming as a rebel or government, we all need the conservation, we all need the nature, we all need to conserve everything for our benefit and for the future. And I know the park always work through some laws which say we don't involve in any conflicts. And that is what is making us like almost every time safe. If the time allows, if the security, we can assess every time. And with that one, we can always work without having many problems and conflict with whatever is controlling the area. So it means all of us, we all need to protect the natural animals, conservation, and so on. So even if the security is bad, but we always have the security department in the park who has to assess every day the situation, how it is, and will give us the permission to go or to stay. So we always assess that, as we say, human safety first, and that is part of our principle we work with. Even the park is the same. So we always communicate with the park, and they always assess the security on a daily basis to report and to allow people to go if you need the escort or not. That is possible. So I think that is what I can have maybe in short to explain what we are going through. Even at the moment at Rumangabo, at the moment we cannot say we are threatened. We are okay here, and we've been doing even a couple interventions recently when the security has been kind of improved. So at the moment we are okay. We can keep going. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. And I just appreciate, can I say it again? Because I've said this 100 times, but I cannot thank you enough, the whole team, for always putting your safety and welfare first and foremost. And, this is the audience. You should know that this is a group of people that have faced very, very significant threats even to their homes and their families over the last many months. And so I just appreciate that you've always put safety first. Thank you. Okay, we've got a question for you, Jan, from Adrian M. She asks, can zoo staff get ideas or inspiration seeing the environment and the behavior of the wild gorillas when you're planning new enrichment elements for your gorillas that may be in a zoo?
Gosh. That's a great question. And I do think that there is merit in seeing animals in their natural habitat when we are creating environments and creating enrichment and well-being items for our animals. So I think I encourage everybody to come and see gorillas. It's a life-changing experience. But to your question, yeah, I think there are ways in seeing any wild animal in its natural environment that can help inform us when we're creating a habitat for animals in human care and creating things for them to do. Great question.
Yeah, and great question. I agree. And I think, zoos are, we all have probably been going to zoos our whole life, and we can remember some of the zoo facilities and enclosures when we were kids and look at them now. I mean, some of these enclosures look almost exactly like the forest home of a gorilla or the savanna home of a zebra. And it's pretty amazing what zoos are doing for the animals in their care.
Yeah, creating complex environments with things for the animals to do. Yep.
Yeah. Here's a great logistical question for you, Fabrice, from Karen M. Are you going to have to drive back and forth to Goma every day to get to this facility? Are you going to have to drive back and forth?
No. Every day, when we want to work in Rumangabo or in the field, we can go there, we can sleep there, and sometime when we have some kind 3, 4, or the 5 group in some area, like in Bukima, it's just around Rumangabo, we have to stay there and to do if it's the monitoring visit or routine health check, we have to do the routine health check in all of the groups, there, and then and we have to do per day 1 health check or 1 monitoring visit. And if we have some 4 or 3 group or 5 group there, we have to stay in the field during 5 days before to return in Goma.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Fabrice. And earlier on our tour, I think Eddie mentioned that, you were just in one building. We've actually built a separate building that has living quarters for our team. So for that exact reason, they will not have to go back and forth. They can drive up on a Monday and spend the week at Rumangabo, and they have a place to stay, a comfortable place to stay, and they can do their work. So again, we'll look forward to sharing with the audience on a future webinar, all of our buildings, all equipped and furnished. I have one last question. It's actually not a question. It's from our partners at Grace. And Jackson, our wizard behind the laptop there, Jackson also works for the Grace Sanctuary. And they're wanting to share, they want to take this opportunity to acknowledge their partners at the Grace Sanctuary. This is the only sanctuary in the world caring for critically endangered Grauer's gorillas. And Grace led the successful return of 4 female Grauer's gorillas to the wild last year, to that little dot up at the top of Virunga National Park, Mount Shambarimu sector. And that's where Dr. Cedric works full time to monitor these amazing animals. They want to say hello to everyone. They thank everyone for their incredible dedication. Quote, "You are making a real important difference for gorillas, forests, and communities. This has been an amazing webinar and very special opportunity to get behind the scenes, to look at your new facility." So thanks for that nice comment. We are about out of time. Thank you to our DR Congo team for this first look tour. We can all feel and see how excited and proud you are. Again, we're going to look forward to coming back when we can see everything in all the rooms. But again, paint is still drying. Okay, to our audience, thank you so much for joining us today. Since we started these live webinars back in 2020, spending this hour with you has become one of my favorite events of the year. As you may know, I'm retiring, so this is likely my last GD Live, at least in front of the camera. I will be a very enthusiastic and very stress-free member of the audience for our future events. Being Gorilla Doctor's executive director has been the absolute highlight of my professional career, and I owe that not only to my extraordinary colleagues, but to each and every one of you. Your support and your enthusiasm and your encouragement over the years has fueled our growth and truly, truly contributed to the recovery of mountain gorillas. As Jan mentioned, this new facility marks our commitment to the future of great ape and wildlife conservation in the region, and we hope you will continue to be on this journey with us. I hope you will consider making a gift of support today. The Burson-Murray family is continuing their World Gorilla Day matching challenge they made weeks ago. They're continuing that challenge to help us end the year strong. So your gift will be doubled. Thank you, Burson-Murray family. All right, with that, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I wish everyone a really wonderful holiday season filled with joy and peace. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Congo team. Bye, Jan. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.